I'm Adrienne Pedersen. Today on Upfront, Omicron surges and the state's largest school districts go virtual. Do you know how many teachers are out with COVID now?
Several hundred.
The head of Milwaukee's teachers union is here. I'll ask her why students aren't back in the classroom. Plus,
I'm not the prosecutor, I'm not the judge, I'm not the jury, but I certainly think if you choose to break the law, you have to pay a price.
Assembly Speaker Robin Vos doubling down, calls for election commissioners to be criminally charged as the review of the 2020 election moves into an election year. Plus, more restaurants requiring proof of vaccination. We're covering the fast-moving COVID changes and a busy week ahead.
Taking on the issues important to Wisconsin. This is Upfront with your host, Adrienne Pedersen.
Hello and thank you for joining us. It'll be another turbulent week in schools across the state. Students in Madison will return to in-person learning tomorrow, but in Milwaukee, the state's largest district, students will remain fully virtual until at least January 18th as the state continues to shatter new daily COVID-19 case numbers. Some schools say so many teachers have tested positive they can't staff classrooms, but the return to virtual is frustrating many parents, students, and teachers. So we're talking about it all with Amy Mizialko, the president of the Milwaukee Teachers Education Association. Amy, nice to see you again. A big question, will your teachers be ready to go back to school in person a week from now?
So Adrienne, I just want to start by saying that public education workers in Milwaukee want to be back in person with their students. The issue right now and the necessity right now is virtual because there simply aren't enough adults who aren't sick right now, who are healthy enough to go into schools and to reopen them in person. Educators are worried for our students. We want to be in person. But we know that it would put us in a very unsafe situation to go back into buildings with simply not enough adults to provide care, supervision, and teaching and learning for students.
Well, on the district dashboard, it shows MPS COVID cases, but it doesn't separate out students and staff. Do you know how many teachers are out with COVID now?
Several hundred.
When you talk about the staffing shortage, it sounds like something that has to have a long-term solution, and you're not sure what to do in the short term. And Chicago teachers have defied the city. They've refused to return to the classroom. They've essentially shut down the district. Is there any scenario where you see that happening in Milwaukee and that kids won't be back in class on the 18th because of something the teachers union does?
We're not even debating COVID-19 spread at this point. It's the question of, do we have adults who are well enough to go in and open up schools? So we are in touch with members in all 135 schools regularly. We are in touch, we are in discussions with administration.
Have you talked about that with your members, refusing to go back into the classroom if it comes to that?
MTEA members, first and foremost, there was testimony and many letters sent into administration, to me, to the school board. It is our utmost first intention to be in person with students. Being virtual is draining. There's no question about that. It's draining for students and it's draining for staff. So we're really focused on getting people healthy and well and weathering this surge. But Milwaukee Public Schools can't do that on our own. We live in a city, and it remains to be seen if the Milwaukee Health Department, if the acting mayor, if the Common Council is going to act in a way to protect Milwaukee residents. We've seen MTEA has been asking for a mask mandate for 5 months. We're seeing mounting pressure from multiple organizations and leaders across the city for a mask mandate. But the commissioner makes every excuse under the sun, saying that she doesn't have the authority. And I would like to read to you the state statute that gives Commissioner Johnson and public health officials the authority. This is what it says. They, quote, shall promptly take all measures necessary to prevent, suppress, and control communicable diseases. It's right there in black and white. It couldn't be more clear. And Commissioner Johnson's been making excuses. Those excuses have cost our students. They've cost our families. They've cost the city of Milwaukee. And Commissioner Johnson's inaction is even costing the one thing she's trying to protect, which is the economic interests of this city.
So you're blaming the health commissioner for MPS students still being virtual?
The city health commissioner has failed to take her number one, most simple, basic leadership responsibility, which is to do everything in her power to secure the public health of this city, and the dangerous and perhaps catastrophic ripple effect. So the challenge of having enough teachers, enough paraprofessionals, nurses, children's health aides, bus drivers, and all of the people that are necessary for in-person learning. Yes, the commissioner has absolutely contributed to the situation that we're in right now. And whatever the city council has to do to ensure that she enacts her leadership responsibility, that needs to happen yesterday.
I want to play something that President Biden said last week and just get your response. So let's listen to this here.
We provided the states with $130 billion, with a B, billion dollars to specifically keep our students safe and schools open. So I encourage the states and school districts to use the funding that you still have to protect your children and keep the schools open.
So we hear from the president there with that money, with extra resources. What's the disconnect here?
Right. So clearly from President Biden's comments this week, he simply is missing the point. So President Biden is talking about tools and providing tools to keep schools open. And so certainly KN95 masks are one of the necessary tools we need to be open. Testing, regular, are one of the tools that we need to be open in person. But the simple and only reason that we are not in person right now is because we don't have enough staff.
Okay, well, Amy Mizialko, we're certainly wishing our teachers the best. This is a tough spot right now for them, for parents, and for students. So thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, Adrienne.
Now we want to pass along some big news in the U.S. Senate race. A Republican source tells us that Republican Senator Ron Johnson will seek re-election and that his official announcement is expected this week. Speculation has swirled about whether Johnson would seek a third term. The announcement will further solidify both the races for Senate and governor. Coming up.
Do you still want the commission members criminally charged?
Assembly Speaker Robin Vos, new insight on the election investigation and the emails we've obtained.